Hey, hello, you look familiar, have I made up with you before? Let's just be serious, kabla uanze tukunipo. Nionyeshe Insta live nitakukumbuka hivyo. Oh, hey, hello, sikuamini lakini ni kama nimeona ghost. Miezi mbili ndio maana siwezi pita kino. Na tangu lini ukaanza kuwa na story mob? Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakini walai siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. My pride is there, don't play, don't even dare. You don't play fair, so hey, there's something here, there's something there, overlay. It's like a different kind of weather. Hey, my heart is there, my pride is there, don't play, don't even dare. You don't play fair, so hey, there's something here, there's something there, overlay. It's like a different kind of weather. Lakin, walai, siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai, na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai, ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakin, walai, siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai, na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai, ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakin, walai, siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai, na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai, ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Lakin, walai, siwezi mind tukienda drinks. Walai, na beshte yangu bado takumit. Walai, ni wapi ulienda for real? For real. Go fit, Allah, go fresh, Allah. Lakin, bana, din west, bana. Go fit, Allah, go fresh, Allah. Lakin, bana, din west, bana.
Road trips and young romances, breakups and second chances. Our rhythm steers through all these years. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat only forever. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Bringing the one din din and the boom boom boom, adding manya tick tick. Then it's me and you. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Is it good? Heartbeats and stolen glances, oceans and wedding marches. Our music plays through all these days. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat only forever. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? My Isukuti love. Is it good
says she's okay. I don't believe her. There's just something about the way she turned her back on me. I know in my mind I'll never leave her. There's just something about the way we love each other right. And even though we fight all night and day, I know sometimes in love there can be pain. And even though we need a little break, I know that you'll come back to me. You know that I'll come back to you. 'Cause that's when you'll start to feel my love. Feel it, that's when you feel it. That's when you start to feel my love. Feel it, that's when you feel it.
Na 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 na. Usiponipenda nitapendwa na nani? Nitakuwa mgeni wa nani? Ukiwa mbali nami nabaki tabani. Ona nahisi kisirani, hawa haina maana. Mimi na wewe kuzozana, mbona tunasimangana? Hatuwezi semezana, my love, haina maana. Mimi na wewe kuzozana, mbona tunasimangana? Hatuwezi semezana.
And even though we fight all night and day,
I know sometimes in love there can be pain. And even though we need a break, I know that you come back to me. And you know that I come back to you. That's when you start to feel my love. Feel it, that's when you feel it. That's when you start to feel my love. Feel it, that's when you feel it.
and even if we fight all night and day, I know sometimes in love there can be pain. And even if we need a little break, I know that you come back to me. You know that I'll come back to you. And that's when you start to feel my love.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
Usiku wa joto, usiku wa manane, usiku usioishia, katikati ya Julai. Tulikuwa na furaha, hatuku stress na uhai. Tulijua tu city lights ya Nairobi, they shine so bright. Remember dancing in the moonlight up until the sunrise. Strobe lights glaring oh so bright. Katikati ya July, ya July, ya July, ya July. follow the beat the whole night. Oh, we'd be disco queens, but that was way before our time. Our life is ours, so we take it. So let's run naked, paint the city pink. We deserve to take it. Let's get our lick back, fight the system, we can break it. Chase our dreams until we make it. Dancing in the moonlight, up until the sunrise. Strobe lights flaring glow so bright. Katikati ya July, ya July, ya
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's so good to see you this 30th of July. The year is 2025. Welcome to the Power Morning Drive Show on Power Radio, where we tune in and power up. This is a Power Morning Drive Show. I am your host, Wanyoike. And to give you a couple of updates on what exactly to expect on today's show, of course, we start off with the day's traffic updates. Look at the situation happening across major roads in this city under the sun, but like we can say under the weather because it's quite chilly in Nairobi. And then we get a little bit into the day's newspaper review. Then after that, we shall be talking about the education crisis that we are currently facing. Just last week, the CS Treasury, John Mbadi, said that the country or this government is not in a position or nor has it have the capacity to capitate and fund the free primary and secondary education program. And so we are going to be joined by education activist Mr. Pamphil Omondi, who is going to break down what exactly this portends, not only for the Kenyan parent, but also for the taxpayers' money, because we should be able to fund our own internal programs. And in any case, this is education. It's a very major stakeholder budgetary, in terms of budgetary allocations as well. So we are going to be talking about that and what are some of the mechanisms that we can explore so that some students do not get locked out and have in access to education, because education is a right. It's not a privilege, it's a right as enshrined in our constitution, and every child has to have that right accessed to them as well. So a little bit later on the program, that's the conversation that we shall be having on here. But to give you how you can get in touch with us, you can call in and text us or also voice note us. The line is 0748 379231. I say that one more time. 0748379231. You can also at me directly. I am at the Wanyoike on X and also Wanjiko Wanyoike on Instagram. You can also find us on our social media platforms. That is Power Radio across all socials, and also on our YouTube channel. Please, 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 if you've not yet subscribed on our YouTube channel, just drop your coffee, drop your tea, go and subscribe right now, please, and hit on that notification bell so that you are notified whenever we go live. And we are also on our website www.power254.org/power radio. Let me get into what is the situations on the road are looking like this morning, and we start off, of course, with the high and mighty Thika Superhighway, and the situation from Survey into town, madness, absolute madness. Kenyatta Avenue is also looking quite shabby. shabby this morning. Kumeshikana bumper to bumper. Bunyala Road is also quite busy this morning as well, especially as you go towards Haile Selassie Avenue. I can also see that we also have just a little bit of a snarl up as you go from State House Road is also looking quite busy, especially along the Lavalette area. We also have situation along the Wanyoike Way. It's just a little bit of a snarl up there as you go from ABC Place. Limuru Road looking the same as well as you go from the Village Market into Karura Forest. DCI, that's along Kiambu Road. DCI as you go towards town looking quite busy as well this morning. Peponi Road is also quite busy, especially as you go towards the About Time restaurant area. Looking quite busy as well this morning. Langata Road is also very busy. Traffic update starts. The traffic situation starts from Weston, that area across the Dam Estate, Weston, Wilson, and just a little bit of a spill over towards Raila Odinga Road. Let's see what is happening on Mombasa Road. It's actually quite clear this morning. Only just a little bit of a snarl up as you go from Capital Center into Bellevue, which also spills over towards the Bunyala Road. Jogoo Road pia meshikana, especially as you go towards the Nairobi City Stadium into town. So that should be interesting to see how that plays out. The Southern Bypass is not looking too bad this morning. You guys are looking okay. Ngong Road, there's a little, actually there's more. There's a lot of traffic as you go towards Prestige Plaza. And also just a little bit of a spillover into Valley Road as well. So that's what's happening on the major streets this morning. In case of any updates that you might want us to let us know, please reach out to us. The hashtag to use is hashtag Power Morning Drive. We will be back with the newspaper review, so do keep it Power Radio.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
That's what he said to me. Rudi nyumbani, doesn't matter what you did. Shoka Moshe, that's what he said to me. Rudi nyumbani, doesn't matter what you did.
What you did.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
Took my time, nasitawai tena. No, you had my life, sungeniambia mapema. Yeah, and no lie, sikudhani tungeachana. 'Cause in a way, you were everything I lacked. Sasa nawaza kila siku, mbona hukuwa mwaminifu? I scratch your back and try to be true, but it just feels like a game to you. Wafanya penzi liwe mchezo, vile wanicheza. Misi uwanja wa mchezo, mbona wanicheza? Wafanya penzi liwe mchezo, oh, vile wanicheza. Misi uwanja wa mchezo, mbona wanicheza?
Hujawahi ona mwingine na macho, akina nani wanakujaza mawazo, tukisonga wanaturudisha mwanzo. Baby, siwezi kucheza, 'cause I'm all in, falling for you. Even when they calling, nakata 'cause I'm loyal. Why you walking out the door knowing I adore you? Baby, siwezi kucheza. Haya mapenzi siwezi kucheza, usiuwanja wa mchezo, siwezi kucheza. Haya mapenzi si mchezo, siwezi kucheza, usiuwanja wa mchezo, siwezi kucheza.
Wafanya penzi liwe mchezo,
siwezi kucheza.
misi uwanja wa mchezo,
Siwezi kucheza, haya mapenzi si mchezo, siwezi kucheza.
misi uwanja wa mchezo.
Siwezi kucheza.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
Hello, niggas blowing up my phone. Usini hala kama huna phone. Mnani choke, mnani kabako. Hello, nyiri betinde wa you dogi mawadwaro. Werigi jogi gidwa promises of life. Werigi jogi do machindi ya online. Vijana wa Nairobi msinilete ufala, ndio manami huishingi hatungepatana. Ukinikata mara moja wezi nitamalaya. And you're telling everybody that this Gucci's on fire, on me fire. no finance. Only fans, yeah, yeah. Only fans. Penye mefika na fungua only fans. Kauna nipenda to my fare in advance. Penye mefika no romance with no finance. Only fans, yeah, yeah.
Hello, ladies blowing up my phone. Aki bien you are so bomb. Wakituma fare twakuja kwako. Oh yo, steady grinding all night long. Nasikuji kasi form ya door. Itabidi ukanje ndo tupige show. Ukisikia sauti solo jue ni kubaya. Hii muziki ya Kenya twaipeleka Ulaya. Na temperature inapanda warazi wanakwaya. Tutashinda magrami before tumeretire. Mise only fans. Walimefika na tambua only fans. Kanika kitu umetumia only fans. Walimefika nafanyia only fans. Only fans, yeah, yeah, only fans. Walimefika na tambua only fans. Kanika kitu umetumia only fans. Walimefika mutambua only fans. Only fans, yeah, yeah.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
This is Hendrix Sam.
Hekima mdomoni mwake na uzuri wake wasambaza kote. Heshima kwake ni msingi, akiipeana apewa kwa wingi. Kusu kusu kusu, wivu na wivu, jamaa yake, mwendo wake. Kusu kusu kusu, wivu na wivu, jamaa yake. Manzi wa maana, ni manzi wa nguvu, manzi ambaye amwogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Ni manzi wa nguvu, manzi ambaye amwogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Kazi zake ni za kuvutia, lote afanyalo afanyia Mungu, na ukweli ndiyo nguvu yake. Maombi moyoni yamuimarisha, na ujali wa mwingine chake yeye haki, usichana wake hadi wawe. Chali wa mwingine chake yeye haki, usichana wake. Manzi wa maana, ni manzi wa nguvu, manzi ambaye amwogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Ni manzi wa nguvu, manzi ambaye amwogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Maana ni manzi wa Mungu, manzi ambaye amwogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Ni manzi wa nguvu, manzi ambaye amwogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Henry Mutuku ulinifunza manzi wa maana,
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Just a little bit, yeah.
The money make me fly like a kite. I wish the money make me fly like a kite. I wish the money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite.
Fresh like the sea, Bora Uhai, c'est la vie. All of these roads lead you to me. Make me spend all my money for peace and quiet mystery. Forbidden fruit is out of reach. I've got a hunch, a certainty. You make me spend all my money. Dice, a slap on the cheek, the thrill of the chase ends in defeat. If we are survivors, then we try harder. Most of my life I've been asleep. Who will I hold? Who will I keep? All of this talk is way too deep. I need to spend all my money.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Alrighty, welcome back. That is Mr. Tetushani playing right here on Power Radio. This is a Power Morning Drive show with me and Wanyoike, right? Let's look at what the papers are looking like this morning. And we start off with the Standard newspaper. On the cover page of the Standard newspaper is Mortgaging Kenyans, as President William Ruto's government rolls out a controversial securitization. Oh wow, that is quite the word. Securitization, I think. I don't know. Model to fast track infrastructure. Experts warn it is a financial time bomb, borrowing against future taxes, bypassing parliament and risking constitutional breach. Critics call it reckless, opaque, and tantamount to mortgaging Kenya's future for short-term political optics. This is economic sabotage, says one former Treasury insider. You don't tax citizens today just to gamble with their tomorrow. Experts are wondering in whose interest are government officials deploying these schemes. Then we also have a story on teachers to face murder charge after boy 14 was killed and hanged in cover-up. And this is a story that continues on page 6 of the Standard newspaper. At a glance, let's see what the Daily Nation is leading with. And the first story there is Tanzania jobs ban hits Kenyans hard. Dodoma's move to bar foreigners from select businesses in the country will affect thousands of Kenyans, with the Suluhu regime sanction infuriating local traders and MPs who have asked Nairobi to impose retaliatory measures. And business activities prohibited for non-citizens. Some of them include repair of mobile phones and electronic devices. We also have salon business unless conducted in a hotel for tourism purposes, tour guiding within the country, brokerage or agency in businesses and real estate. And then we also have ownership and operation of micro and small industries. Another story that the Daily Nation is leading with is Mishra fight off organs trafficking charges. Medihill Hospital owner Swarup Mishra says he is a victim of Kenya's lack of legal frameworks for organ donation, as he rejects claims his facility paid kidney donors. We also have a story about cash crunch forces public schools to close early, and I think this is definitely a story that we shall be looking at in depth with in our conversation later on today with Pamphil Omondi. And lastly, Uhuru Raila plot political survival ahead of 2027 polls. And on the bottom of the Daily Nation, emotional return for man spared execution in Saudi Arabia. This is the story of Steve-O, who, after 14 years of being locked up in Saudi Arabia prison, and with a long stretch of that time spent on death row, Stephen Munyaho, who is popularly known as Steve-O, is finally back on Kenyan soil. There's a picture of him there embracing his mother Dorothy upon his arrival, looking very happy for the reuniting. Let's see. The Business Daily newspaper today leads with banks to lend at same loan base rate in CBK's U-turn. There's a story about KRA unlocks 86.5 billion from disputes with firms and individuals. A story about why Kenyans still favor investing in SACCOs and banks. And lastly, Kenya leaders protest as Tanzania bans foreign businesses, which is a story that goes in depth there on the Business Daily as well. So reverting back to the story actually about Tanzania's jobs ban. First of all, you will, you will reckon that this is definitely a hard hit for Kenyan traders, and we actually have 40,000 Kenyans living and working in Tanzania, in Tanzania, our neighboring country there. And so, and actually most of these people, the small traders, the sort of businesses that have been given sanctions like repair of mobile phones, the salons, the tour guiding, also have brokerage and agency for businesses in real estate. A big chunk of Kenyans really has been on the front lines of being the ones that lead the chart in this sort of economic growth and development. And so the conversations that are happening, critics are saying that Dodoma policy runs counter to provisions of East African Community Treaty, which allows for this sort of continuous collaboration, mostly economic collaboration and cross-empowerment across the region. And so the other camp of the critics say that it's mostly more political than it is economic. When we find countries feeling as if there is a sort of a crackdown on their sovereignty, it becomes easier. The target, the easier target becomes who can we kick out, right? Who can kick out? Because the fight for sovereignty of nations and states has been that it's always a narrative of us versus them. And so if we are already struggling internally as a nation, the best next thing to do is start pruning out any emblems of the lack of sovereignty and also the lack of standing on business, to be for lack of a better word. And so one camp is of the thought that it's more political than it is economical, and that there is that they are calling upon people to think through this and see what is not being said, see beyond what is not being said and captured as well. And then it would be also interesting to see those the provisions of the East African Community Treaty. Now, will they do something in terms of because when many regions or different countries come together to form, for example, a regional bloc as the East African Community is, the feeling, or rather the idea is usually that there is some sort of systems and structures that have been set into place to ensure that there is a model of accountability. And so it would be interesting to see what the response of the East African Community now becomes. And it would be also interesting to hear whether they are actually going to respond to this, because over the past, I think I would say 3-4 months, especially because of what has been happening across the democratic space and the political space, with crackdown of activists that cross borders to Tanzania and being violated by the Tanzanian government, allegedly, reportedly. It would be interesting to see what exactly happens now after this seemingly so economic ban with sanctions. Now, there is likely to be a narrative of this is a clampdown of the development of the region, as it were, because telling people to withdraw their businesses from a country sort of jeopardizes this consistent regional building that has been going on, right? And so, I think it's definitely much bigger than we think. It's just shutting down businesses and putting a ban on that. Sanctions are usually very mostly politically inspired, and so it's beyond the economy. I don't think that it's just about the economy. So it's gonna be interesting to see what comes out of that. And I can see that I'm really running out of time. Let me stop that there. You can go get your copies of the dailies this morning as you get an in-depth analysis of what is making the major headlines this morning. But now, shifting gears, we will take a quick break. When we come back, we get into our day's conversation. The education sector has been going through a little bit of a cash crunch there with underfunding, capitation. This is obviously according to the CS Treasury, John Mbadi. And so we are going to be talking to education activist, Mr. Pamphil Omondi, this morning. He joins us online as we tackle some of what could be really going on in the Ministry of Education. What does that portend for the Kenyan parent, and how do we devise mechanisms to ensure that we are not finding ourselves in the same loop for over and over again? So do stick around with us as we come back and get into that discussion in just a little bit. Stay with us.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
This afternoon.
hata kaa kuna kaa shida zimezidi, mpangilio wa awali hatufuati, hata kama mawasiliano zime break down, network bila set of union kama MOU. Baby you got to know, bila wewe bila mimi wasikia si fresh, tutashinda tukihangaika daily lady, stress levels hapana healthy. Mashabiki mabest they all have to go. Waishie tukae mezani, shida zetu tuendoe kifuani, penzi letu tuitilie manani, tuifanyie kazi tuikuze mami. No more mama sita, side dishes, senoritas. Manzi inabidi kwa easy, inabidi kwa cool, simple rule, tujikaze, baby ni wewe tu, from the outset, isia ukam natural, si mathematics, tuchukue cruise, kama ni ndoto, tufanye reality, na kuomba safiri nami, na kusihi baby.
Nasema moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kitu cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho, fever, 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 fever. Moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kitu cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho, fever, 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 fever. Dada vipi, nanusurika kila unapopita, hiyo shingo itapinda, na ukiniita sitadinda, kwani ni wewe tu, hakuna mwingine, ni wewe tu, vile ukisheki wanipa hiyo fuga, you know this must be true. Hata nikiwa with my fattest crew, ukipita lazima tutaweka mikono juu, basi basi basi, shake hiyo nanda, shake hiyo nanda, usiogope ni Habib na Manga, shake hiyo nanda, shake hiyo nanda, usiogope ni Habib na Manga. Nasema moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kitu cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho, fever, 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 fever. Moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kitu cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho, fever, 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 fever. Vipi dada, jina langu ni Manga, rhyme bado hot, rhyme bado za bamba, na kucheki juu paka chini, I like it what I see, baby girl, do you feel me? Kutoka the first time nilikucheki nilijua you be mine, nikiamua umenibamba, na kukupata nitafanya chochote unachotaka, usiku silali, chakula sikuli, wote wakutaka ni adui, umenishika na ninasita kila unapopita, na siwezi nyita, ndio mwanzo, mambo bado, haters wote wako songa kando, ndio mwanzo, mambo bado, haters wote wako songa kando. Nasema moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kitu cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho, fever, fever. fintiva, wanipa fintiva. Moyo wa duntunda. Wanipa fintiva, wanipa fintiva, wanipa fintiva. Moyo wa duntunda. Wanipa fintiva, wanipa fintiva, wanipa fintiva. Moyo wa duntunda. Wanipa fintiva, wanipa fintiva. Nasema moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kichwa cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho. Fever, 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 fever. Moyo wa dunda, roho ya umma, kichwa cha umma, dada ukipita wanipa hacho. Fever, 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 fever.
Voice production.
Got the beautiful Miss V on them vocals. Calligraph Jones in the place. Rabbit. Teamwork. Let's get it.
From outer space, out of this world, we come in peace, tell your master all. We are taking over this place right now. But bring your crew, you can let them know. We in town, they should dress up for the show. We are bringing down this town tonight, oh. In an African party, we stomp our feet on the ground. We raise our hands in the air and say, hey, hey, hey. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare mademu na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare mademu na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu.
Imagine, hivyo ndo muingianga kwa klabu au jasikia tunakula life na adabu na masela sela. Wana hela hela umenijazka hiu mase hela hela ni jui basi tela tela ni king kaka. King of Zamunda tuko ndani na tumedunga. Kaka clothing wabado mtumba. Mina manager tuko tight anajua mini spend thrift. Meza drinks nimezipanga kama Tetris.
In an African party, we stomp our feet on the ground. We raise our hands in the air and say, hey, hey, hey. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare mademu na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Mpaka kesho jo. Washanare mademu na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu.
Boo, check it, yo, I go like boom, 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 boom. Mikono kwa hewa nikifika tu kwa boom, 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 boom. As I be rolling when I be the cruiser, boom, boom. Get out the way, I'm feeling like money today. I'm here to pour it up all over the club, I'm willing to pay, so that's how I plan to go and tap it. Hey y'all, fee what up, let's make it happen. I'm here to get it cracking. Shorties are telling me that I'm attractive, cause they be feeling the swag, I'm classic. Call me Papa Jones, and that's it. That's it, that's it, that's it.
Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare mademu na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare mademu na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu. Luka,
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
Your body good to me. I don't want nobody touching on my baby. You say you're there for me. Anytime you want it, no, I am ready. Don't waste no time whenever you call. I'm saving my love for you. I know just what you like. I don't want nobody touching on my baby. I came in here for a good time, yeah. That keep your hands to your soft time. And when I come around, just know it's mine. I'm the one to cause trouble tight. So when you come close, my baby is a no. So leave my baby boo on the dance floor. Cause my baby goes slow. My baby want I'm here all night, oh don't you know? Your body good to me. I don't want nobody touching on my baby. You say you're there for me. Anytime you want it, no, I am ready. Don't waste no time whenever you call. I'm saving my love for you. I know just what you like. I don't want nobody touching on my baby. I don't want nobody, body. I don't want nobody touching on my baby. Body. I don't want nobody touching on my baby. Run, and you better run. Cause I'm packing a gun. A gun, I'm coming in hot and I'm heavy. What, that's a gun. My man, look for another one. Alarm, I'll ring the alarm. Cause I don't want nobody touching on my baby. And if you think I'm going crazy, yeah, I might be. And don't you know that I don't call myself a lady? Hands up, back up, yeah.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
All right. Welcome back this morning. Thank you so much, everybody. Many thanks for staying with us on the Power Morning Drive Show. You are tuned into Power Radio. Thank you so much. We are going to be getting now into our conversation this morning. As I promised and highlighted earlier, we are going to be looking at the state of the education sector. You know, it has been quite a sector with a lot of crisis after crisis after crisis, from faulty funding. Funding models to now lack of capitation and funding capacity, just as we saw last week. The CS Treasury, or John Omondi, was able to submit in front of the National Assembly's Education Committee, saying that the government is not in a position to fund and capitate fully the free education, that's free primary and secondary education program. So today, that is going to be the heart of our discussion this morning with education activist Mr. Pamphil Omondi. So in case you have any questions and you would like more, or the Kenyan taxpayer, the Kenyan parent as well, and all of us as a collective, please send us in a message, text us on 0748379231. You can also get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are Power Radio across all socials, and we will be sure to get in touch with you. But before any further ado, allow me to introduce Mr. Pamphil Omondi as he introduces himself and tell us what you have been up to in the good county of Kakamega. It's so good to have you this morning with us, Mr. Pamphil.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anne Wanyoike, for this wonderful morning and having me here at Power Radio. And what I can say, currently I'm in Kakamega County. Kakamega County is a very good county. I've just come to visit and do some few things here and there, but I'm coming back to Nairobi as soon as today, tomorrow. So thank you so much, and also thank you so much.
Awesome. Karibu sana. Mhm. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, as you have interacted with what has been going on in the education sector. First of all, is it a fair assessment to say that we are dealing with we are dealing with a crisis here in the education sector, because from not only has the education sector not been going through very challenging times, like we have been having conversations around the faulty funding model, especially in the tertiary level education. And now CS Mbadi comes out and says that we've been living a lie on funding free education, and saying that, it's time for the taxpayer to go deeper into their pockets. I mean, what do you make of this entire conversation that is, wielded within the education ministry and education sector in the country?
Thank you so much. What I can say is that our government is playing picky-pocky game with our education. Forget that education is a right for each and every Kenyan child, as constituted in our constitution, whereby they have not given it the seriousness that it deserves. Because we know that education is the backbone of everything. Without education, nothing can happen. Even innovations, our industry and everything, education is about everything. And what I can say that what the government is trying to do today, they are creating some problems, some challenges, so that they can have a leeway to loot the money.
Yeah.
Because we have more than enough experts who can drive the Ministry of Education and the Department of Education efficiently. Kenya is not short of men and women with brains who have gone to school with expertise to ensure that our education system is working efficiently for each and every Kenyan, regardless of where they are in this country. So the problem that we are having today, they're just creating this challenge, these loopholes, so that they can have cracks to loot in this good Department of Education.
Yeah, and obviously this further jeopardizes even access to education. Already as it stands, education is not, as you rightfully say, that it is indeed a right, but we sort of like treating it as a privilege in this country. So there's already a social stratification bar with the people that cannot access education as it stands. So what would be the implications of, for example, decapitating it completely? Are we looking at a continuously plunging decline in literacy levels, but even beyond the literacy levels, what would that mean for the fabric of the society in this country?
What I can say is that we have leaders or political leaders and even executive leaders who fear to have Kenya having their independence, freedom, economically. That is why you find that they want to ensure that Kenyans go to them, beg for them for this essential service that they should be offering. That is why we are seeing a government coming up with this thing called capitation. We don't need even capitation. Let me tell you, Anne. In Kenya, we need free primary, secondary, and tertiary education. And how can this happen? If you hear that the government is saying that now we are having capitation, whereby the fund is released to the schools depending with the number of children. This is a lie. We have made a lot of proposals to this government to scrap things like bursaries. They are doing this so that these MPs, legislatures, can have some money to ensure that they use this money to manipulate a common mwananchi. What the government ought to do today, they need to fund schools according to their needs, not according to the number of children. Because if you are funding according to the number of children, mark you, these schools have different needs. We have a school with 1,000 children that doesn't have enough classes. And we have a school with the same number of children that has enough facilities. You cannot tell me now these schools need to be funded the same. The school head teachers, HOIs, and school heads They need to give the need of the school. The amount of money need to be calculated, whereby now the director of education need to ascertain that school X needs this and this and this, and this is much that is needed. Then the whole amount the government channels to that project, channel to that school according to the need, not according to the number. This thing of the number came up because people are conceding to steal, whereby now we are having ghost learners in schools. Yes, but if we have the need, we shall be able to cap this need of stealing, because we know school A has been given a certain amount of money to do this project, to buy this, to buy that, so that we know if it is supplies, how much does this school need? It is paid, so that there's no this thing of stealing. Our school has everything in place, and then we are counting the number of learners. So sometimes even they don't know what to do with the cash, because you have given them. They have enough classes, they have enough teachers, they have the supplies they have paid. So these things now become a looting spree.
Yeah.
Yes, so that is why you realize now they are creating confusion. Like the issue that Treasury issued the other day, that the government cannot fund free primary education and secondary education. I think that is just a plan by the government to seek empathy from people, because Ruto has been creating problems so that he can come with a solution to people, so that he has something to say, because he has been lying. So I am sure Cabinet Secretary cannot come and issue a statement to the public without the blessing of the president. He cannot come and say, now we don't have enough money, if the president is not aware. The president was aware that this cabinet secretary is coming to issue that, so that later on, after a few days, the president can come and say, now there is money, we are going to fund this. This is just a picky game to confuse Kenyans, because this government thrives through confusion. They don't have a clear objective. Because the objective crackdown of what they are doing, and that is what they are trying to avoid.
So now I'm calling up my homies. I'm so over this.
What the government should do,
you, I don't know.
we have even proposed, we have petitioned several times that we don't need bursaries, we just need free primary education. But the members of parliament today, our legislatures today, they have refused, because they know this is where they loot cash. Why should our women, the elderly, wake up as early as 2 a.m. to go and queue for a bursary of 2,000 if this money can be channeled to the school direct? So we are just having a government that is seriously bringing down the education system, and it is not by default, it is by design. Because they want to make Kenyans beggars. They want to ensure that Kenyans live at their mercies. They don't want to empower Kenyans genuinely by giving them what rightfully belongs to them. That is why I've stated many times, today legislatures have failed us totally. We don't need those bursaries, and I've repeated several times. Yes.
And I always have an issue with the public narratives that are thrown on when politicians and so-called leaders are handling matters. For example, let me give you this statement here by the Baringo County Women Representative, Jemataya Sargon, who said that the government has said it can no longer support free education, What do you get from free education? Free education is not good because it doesn't produce quality students. And she also went on further to say that when the government pays bursaries, parents no longer feel the responsibility of ensuring their own children work hard in school. Careless terms. What does that even mean?
In fact, I'll start by saying that is totally nonsense. In USA, they are having free education right away from nursery all the way to tertiary level. So this woman, she wants to say that there's no education that's taking place in USA, in Singapore, in Sri Lanka. These countries, they're producing, even some of Kenyans, they rush to go there to go and get education, and yet it is free. So what I can say is that free education, saying that it cannot produce quality, that's a lie. What we need is proper management of education. Let our teachers be paid well. Let us have enough and good infrastructure in those schools. Let each and every stakeholder in education department play their role accordingly. We shall have quality education that this country deserves. It doesn't matter. Who said that, you see this thing of saying that you must pay for you to get quality? No, Kenyans are already paying for it. It's not even free. They're paying for it through the tax. It's not free.
Yeah.
Yes. Government has already collected tax from Kenyans, so they are paying for it through tax. It's only that now it is consolidated in one basket. It's not direct, so the government take care of it. It's not. Yes, it is being paid for because teachers will be paid. Books need to be bought. Infrastructure need to be put in place. So it's not free. Kenyans have already paid for it through taxes. It's only that now they are saying you parents, you need to pay for you to get quality so that they get a channel to steal this cash. They don't want to be accountable. They don't want to take responsibility of the money that Kenyans have paid as taxes.
Right.
So there is nothing like free education that it will not be quality.
You know, as an education activist, I wonder what this sort of move, how does that inform the work that you do?
Sorry?
As an education activist, I wonder what this current times that we're living in terms of even what is happening within the sector of education. I wonder how does it inform to even further the work that you do? Because I think you're my first education activist that I have ever met in my life. And I don't know that we are doing a good job at mainstreaming that, because absolutely we need it. You know, as you said, rightfully, education is a right and we need an increase of people like you. So yeah, what is going on within the education activism space?
All right. What I can say that today in Kenya, you better become even a thug, a corrupt. But being an activist in Kenya today is the most challenging job, is the most challenging thing to do.
Yeah.
We are doing this voluntarily because we have the society at heart. We love our nation. We love our people. We want to see each and every Kenyan enjoying their life, living good, yes, receiving these basic amenities that the government should be providing. But today you realize that whatever the government is doing, they have forgotten the mandate that people elected them to do. Now they are fighting discerning voices like ours. Whenever we say, now look here, like for example, we petitioned, look here government, we don't need bursaries. You put this cash in one basket, take them to schools, let our children find this money in schools. They said, no, we cannot put this, we cannot disband bursary. How will our MPs eat? How will they get money? That is how I'm interpreting it. We said, no, look here, can we sit down and see how this system is going to work? We have made a lot of proposals, even about university funding. We said, no, look here, this university funding is going to hurt many Kenyans who cannot afford education. They said, no, this funding need to move on because cartels have already come together. They have already created a loophole of how they are going to steal this cash, because If you say now we are going to pay for child X this amount, child V for this amount, now it will not be equal. We'll not know who has been given what amount. So that is just a way of whereby these people they are creating in order to steal. And we say, no, this thing is not going to work. So you find that the more we insist to ensure that we are heard, the more they insist to abduct us, the more they insist to ensure that they silence us using different means, the more they insist that no, we cannot hear about you, the more they say now, you guys, you are not Kenyans, you are not good citizens. Who said that for you to support the government is when you love your country? You Kenyan, you people, you don't love your country. Can we talk about this? Can you support the government? No, we cannot support the government when it is doing wrong. We know what is right and we know what is wrong. And even the government know what is right and what is wrong. But they do what is right in their end. They do what benefits them. They don't do what benefits Kenyans. Because we Kenyans, government is like a taxi driver. When you board a taxi, you are the one to say, now, I am heading toward this direction. But now we are having a taxi driver who is saying, now, I will take you in the other direction. No, the one who was boarded is the one who decides which direction. So the work of the taxi driver is to ensure that they don't cause accidents, they ensure that they keep on the right lane, they ensure that they move at the right speed, they ensure that you get to the destination. But we are having a government whereby they are the taxi driver and now they are the one now who they are deciding which direction to take. And what I can say that we shall continue speaking about it.
Right.
We shall not get tired, regardless of what they are going to do. Because if we don't speak out, this government is a very wrong government that if we remain silent, they will take us to the forest.
I am in your work as an educationalist. Are there examples of countries where they have perfect education systems that are working, and what would you attribute the successes of their education systems, and what can we learn from such models and blueprints?
We have very many countries which education is really working very well. And I can say countries like Sri Lanka, the education system is working very well. If you go to countries like Singapore, even China, the education system is working. That is why you find that even in Australia, I have very many friends who are in Australia right now who have gone there for their academics. And they are attributing that education there is working. And all these countries that I've mentioned and many other countries, education is absolutely free, including even Finland. Do you know Finland education is free for both citizens and non-citizens? That is why I was wondering, why should Mandago collect money to take our Kenyans there, and yet education there is free? That is just something that I'm still wondering. These countries, education is free and it is working. If you want education to work, one of the things, ensure that you come up with challenges and needs of a nation. Like Kenya, what challenges do we have? What are our needs? So that we tailor-make the education system to ensure we'll provide the solutions to the needs. We don't just go and copy-paste education system from a different country, which they have tailored the education system to sort out their needs. That is where now we find that education system is becoming a burden. We are taking education system, the curriculum that does not offer the solution to our needs. Our needs is different from Britain needs. Our need is different from UK needs. So we cannot copy paste the curriculum in that nation. In Kenya, I've stated uncountable times, we have experts who understand the terrains and the needs and challenges of our nation. These experts are the ones that the government should have listened to them. What are our needs? They list the needs down. What education system, which curriculum, what should we include, so that by the time a child goes through the system, they come out as clear men and women, well impacted, well nurtured to sort out our needs. That is one thing that we have stated uncountable times. Secondly, Anne, I want to state that after that, the government should check What do we need? With a willing heart, with humanity, what do we need? Then they provide the needs. How much do we need? That money is provided. Which kind of teachers, trainers, tutors, lecturers do we need? Then they get trained according to the need of our nation. This issue of just coming on top of the car, on top of it, telling us tumepeana pesa, walimu waende shuleni, watoto wasome. No, that is wrong. That is just to massage somebody's ego. Can you tell us now? We have sat down with our education experts. We have realized that the challenge is here and here and here, and this is the recommendation they have made. We need to do this and this. Let every stakeholder be brought on the table. Let us discuss and agree. This is the route we want to take as far as our education sector is concerned. But this thing of dictatorship in this special department is just hurting this nation and is leading this nation in a stray way.
Yeah, and one of the major sort of challenges that have been leading to this so-called quote-unquote low capitation is the low enrollment into schools. I do not believe it in one bit. I don't know whether you believe that there is a low enrollment as it were.
I'm telling you, we are having a very wrong government. Have a human being at heart. All these are just rhetorics to confuse Kenya. Because what we have said, now, if you are talking about enrollment and the number of children and learners in school, let us not talk about that. Let us talk about the need of the school, regardless of the number, so that we don't have some other schools getting more cash and their needs can be managed with a little amount of money, and yet we have the other schools that is getting less cash because of the number of children and their needs is high. So I think that is one of the things that we have recommended to the government, and they have not heard about us because they just want to have their way so that they have their pockets.
Wow. So there might be somebody who is listening to you, and I did mention earlier on that there has been a lot of challenges with the funding model. So could you kindly briefly contextualize to our listeners what are some of the challenges with the funding models? I mean, there has been a lot of public fights with, it's not working, it's very discriminatory, but a Kenyan maybe might not be understanding exactly what the conversations are all about. So briefly explain to us what are some of the biggest challenges of the funding models, especially of the tertiary level education programs has been, and how do we move from that?
What I can say that the challenge of funding model, it is lack of goodwill from the government. Because Kenya has got enough money to ensure that each and every Kenyan child goes to school right away from primary, secondary to tertiary. If you find that these models that they are coming up with, these are models that somebody is sitting somewhere in order to open up the looting tree. Because we have been having a funding model that has worked for many of us. We have a funding model that has worked for many years. Today we have a lot graduates who have gone through tertiary level, who have come from a very poor background, and they can acknowledge that through this funding model has worked. Unless if you want to change the funding model, first of all, tell us that this model has not worked, but the previous model has worked properly for many of who used that model, and it has worked. We don't see any problem whereby somebody is coming to change the model. I think this is just being selfish, because this model is just a leeway of stealing, and I don't fear saying that. The previous model has worked. Let us go back to the previous funding model, and let you improve on it. improve on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and even speaking about the improving on it, one of the biggest arguments from this has been that, free primary was Kibaki's idea, free education when it comes to secondary school was Uhuru's idea. So now us, we are living in different times. We don't see the need as to why we should continue with these programs. I mean, really, truly, it becomes very problematic because what does that exactly mean to the Kenyans? Does it mean that just because a president is no longer in power, who came up with this amazing thing that is great for the Kenyan wananchi, we just toss it all out, toss out the baby and the bath water as well? Same situation that happened with NHIF, and now we have Chief and Shah. Same situation. I mean, we like reinventing the wheel, but the wheel is not working for the Kenyan people, rightfully say so.
And the issue of saying that it was Kibaki's idea, Uhuru's idea, and today now the government cannot do it. I think that one is, during Kibaki, we had people in government and we had men and women. Yes, we had some scandals. They used to steal, they used to siphon cash. So, but if you compare people who used to steal that time and people who are stealing today, the number has grown. That is why we don't have cash. For example, there is this Auditor's General report that she released last week, whereby she said 33 schools received billions of shillings, and these schools are no longer in our register. So that today people who are stealing are very many. So that is why we don't have cash.
Yeah.
Even these people, they know that they need to provide free primary, secondary, and tertiary education. But the power of stealing, the urge to steal, the greed has overridden the urge to serve Kenyans. They know inside that Kenyans need this education, but the power to, the greed to steal has overridden that humanity. That is now, they have decided now, let Kenyans suffer as we continue eating. Because you cannot tell me, Anne, that the auditor has released a report that 3 schools have received cash, and these schools are no longer, they are nowhere to be traced. And then you as the head of state, you are comfortable. EACC, you are comfortable. DCI, you are comfortable. CS education, you don't say anything. That one is a clear indication that these guys, they know what is happening and they are in support of this impunity. Because it is so sad, billions of shillings going people's pockets, and yet you are telling us you cannot fund education for the poor woman who woke up early in the morning to vote you, who entrusted you to ensure that you safeguard this nation. The first mandate that this woman gave you is you to safeguard.
It's
to ensure their children goes to school, is to ensure that they receive good health care, is to ensure that they have good road network, to ensure that you create enabling an environment for them to do their business and to do their work. But you have failed. You are just coming and telling us, oh, schools, billions have been lost. After that, nothing is happening. In fact, today, we are in consultation with the other stakeholders. We are going to petition this government. We want to see who received these billions that has been sent to schools that are not existing. That is the report we want to hear from the Ministry of Education. We want DCI to come in. We want EACC to come in. Who authorized that this money should be sent to schools that does not exist? These are the reports that if at all we have a head of state who has the heart of people, who has people at heart, he should be even ordering these people to come out. If you go to countries whereby people are serious, even the CS of education could have stepped aside just for that report. But today we see the CS of education is just very comfortable. Yes. You cannot tell us that you cannot fund and billions of shillings is getting into pockets of individuals that we don't know.
Right. Yeah. And so then what does the fight become? Is it a policy fight? Is it an accountability fight? What exactly is our fight really here?
Okay, most of today as Kenyans, we are facing accountability challenges. Yes, not even political. You find that even the demonstrations that you are seeing today in our streets, our young people coming to the streets, they don't have a problem with the political landscape. They have a problem with accountability. We have given you this amount. What are you doing with it? It is not clear how you are spending our money, because we cannot continue living in poverty and yet we have a lot of cash. We should be working for our nation.
Yes.
You cannot continue telling us that we don't have enough drugs in hospitals, our schools don't have enough infrastructure, our children cannot get enough books and teachers in schools, and yet there is money. So the problem that we are having today is the challenge of accountability. We are yet to find a man or a woman at the helm, at the top of leadership, who will come out and say, Kenyans, listen, we have collected 900 billion shillings, and this 900 billion shillings, 200 billion has done this and this, and they point out this is what has done, and the people you can ascertain for sure that one has worked. Another 200 billion has done this and this, they point out, and Kenyans ascertain for sure that one is worth it. This amount has done this. That is the kind of leadership that we want today. But we are just told this amount has been stolen, that amount has been stolen, and nobody is following it up. And whenever those people who are coming up like myself and question this amount, what have you done with it? We are being ordered to be shot on our legs. And people who have stolen this cash, they are cheering up that the order has been given. So it is the challenge of accountability.
It is a challenge of accountability. Leading up to this conversation, I was listening to a conversation by two scholars, and I'm sure you know them, Mordecai Ogada and Mwalimu Wandi Anjoya, and they were having a conversation about one of the biggest problems in Kenya's education system is that it's largely colonial. And when you have an education system that is largely colonial, it means that it's an apparatus for the state to manipulate it and use it for whatever it is that they want the outcome of their subjects to be. And so that's why we have issues with, for example, when you hear politicians and the rhetoric with political figures talk about education, it's usually, let's look for ways to educate our people because the future of maybe the job market is dependent on this thing. And it's never really about empowering people to be humans, empowering people to want to seek knowledge and to be powerful, because knowledge is power, knowledge is responsibility. It's always tied to this sort of abstract ivory towers of the economy, the marketplace, the other. It's such a reductionist way of looking at education. So could it be one of the major problems that we are facing right now is that it's largely colonial in even how we want to tackle education issues in this country?
Yes, you remember I started by saying that for a country to develop, I may give an example of Japan. Japan is the largest producer of motor vehicles. And that one was decided in way back 1970, whereby the government now sat down and said, now, what can we do as a country? Then they moved around and they said, for us to develop, we need efficient way of how people can move from one point to another. Then they tailored the education system in such a way that it can produce men and women who are so innovative so that to meet the need of what they wanted to achieve. And that is what I've said as a nation, Kenya.
Yeah.
What do we want to achieve? And how do we want to achieve it?
Mm.
So that we can tailor our education system, we can tailor and design the curriculum to suit exactly what we want to achieve. But today you realize that the government of the day, they don't know what Kenyans want, and if they know, they are ignorant of it. If they are really caring for this nation, we must have a goal, an objective to be achieved. And now, after having a clear goal and objective to achieve, we must come and sit down and say, what kind of people do we need to achieve this goal? After we are done with now the kind of people, the kind of mindset, the kind of education, then we come and say, how can we now redesign our curriculum so that we produce the exact men and women who will be able to achieve this objective or achieve this goal? From there, now we come and ask ourselves, we have the objective, we have the way to achieve it. Now we want to tailor-make men and women who will achieve it. Now, what are the resources that are needed to ensure that this thing is achieved? Now we bring in the resources out of goodwill, so that we don't just come copy-paste the education system from countries that have already developed.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, wow. I mean, that's very well and thoroughly said. So then, where do we go from here? Where do we even begin? Because it's a lot of things to deal with. I wonder what's in it for us as Kenyans. Where do we go from here, man? It's because it's a lot of things to deal with. You know, before we talk about the finance bill, it's the CBC. First of all, I wanted to ask whether you think the CBC is actually working as it stands, or it's a big joke.
CBC, it's a very good idea. I can start by acknowledging CBC is a very good idea, but the challenge that we have, the government has not given it the seriousness that it deserves, because we realize that CBC, it requires a lot of resources in each and every school, in terms of labor, in terms of infrastructure, and this is something that the government is not willing to give. Because if I take an example of a CBC, it is about digital literacy. And you realize that even up to date, we have schools down in Turkana, in Tarakaniti, we saw a school, a Madi school, that doesn't have electricity. So you realize that as much as CBC is a very good curriculum, the government has not given it attention to ensure that the resources that are needed so that the objective of CBC are achieved. Today they are calling it CBC is achieved. The government has not given the resources. It's not that the resources are not there. It's only that the government is trying to blindfold Kenyans. Showing Kenyans, oh, we care. We are giving you a curriculum that will help your children, that will nurture your children to be responsible citizens in future, and yet they are not giving the resources that are needed so that by the end of the education system, we have exactly a man or a woman that this is CBC is supposed to give out to the marketplace. So CBC is a good idea. That's what I can say. But the government has failed.
Yeah.
Because if you look at CBC, it requires a lot of manpower, a lot of labor. We need more teachers. But now the government hired, I don't know how many teachers. Since last year, we are hearing the president saying, tumeajiri walimu 70,000. Today, tumeajiri walimu 70,000. Tumeajiri walimu 70,000. So it is a song here and there as if he is doing a favor to us. And yet, Kenya today is still in need of more 300,000 teachers. Looking at the ratio, the UN policy ratio that is required. Kenya, if you look at the ratio of learners and teachers, we still need 300 more teachers.
Yeah.
And yet the government today, they are on top of vehicles shouting how they have employed 70,000 teachers in 2 years. No, don't tell us that. You tell us now we have solved this problem. It is your mandate. It's not, you are not doing as a favor that you are shouting. So you want us to clap for you because you have employed 70,000 teachers. Who is supposed to do that? If it is your responsibility, if it is a father, baba akikuja na unga kwa nyumba, watoto wanafaa kumpigia makofi ama ni responsibility yake? Baba akilipa rent, watoto wasimame wampigie makofi kuambia nimelipa, it's your responsibility. And yet you have not even met the threshold that is required. We are in need of 300,000 teachers. And it's not that teachers are not there. We have more than enough teachers who are unemployed. Can you devise a way to ensure that these teachers are absorbed? Like the other day, in fact, I am very, like in Northeastern, there is a group of teachers who left that place because of insecurity. The TSC is taking them round and round in the courts, and here, in fact, we are battling it in the courts. The TSC is taking them round and round because they left there because of insecurity. Today, these teachers are outside, they are suffering. Some of them took loans, some of them are even getting into depression. And yet you are coming here and shouting to us that all may employ walimu 70,000. And yet we have teachers who are suffering outside there, who don't have work to do. And they're very efficient. Can you sit down and tell us now we have hired 300,000 teachers? Then we can appreciate your work. And they are well paid.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost as if we just really want to drain every working system, and I don't even, I'm not so sure that I can say every working system, because mostly our systems in this country do not work, man. Like as it stands, nothing is really working. And then of course now there's the issue of education as a tool for revolution. And let me ask this, and I think you did allude to it earlier on in the program, and you said that it's not by chance that it is the way it is, that this is actually by design, because when you have an educated lot, it becomes easier for control, it becomes easy for political manipulation as well. And we have seen it over and over again that the clampdown on education in some countries where governments are completely authoritarian, one of the ways in which they are able to progress with their agenda is that they bottleneck this right to education, So what are the links between education and a decline in democracy and a decline in revolution as it stands, especially because of the times that we live in this country?
Yeah, what I can say today is like we have talked about Moi, and I know majority of us here who are listening, they know Mzee Moi. He was for 24 hours.
Yeah.
System of managing this country, if Moi raises and comes and use the same method, he cannot even rule for 1 year. Why did he manage to use that method for 24 years and today he can't even manage? If he wakes up and rule the way he used to do, he can't manage in 1 year. Why? It's because of education. If you look at the number of men and women who are educated then and today, you will realize that today 95% of men and women are educated, who are, let me say, above 20 years. They have gone to school very well. And that is why you find that now it is becoming very difficult for the current government to manage the people today, because they are using the Moi script, they are using Moi methodology to rule the current educated men and women. That is why you find that there is a lot of demonstrations here and there in counties. Different professionals are coming out. We have seen teachers, we have seen doctors, nurses coming out because the government is using the script led by William Ruto. Is using the Moi technology, Moi's method to rule the current Kenyans. And I can tell you that through education, Kenyans are enlightened. Today, the world has become a global village whereby we exchange, we get to know what do these developing countries do? What do developed countries do? We have these exchange programs. We come back and say, look, this one cannot work, that one can work. But the moment we come with such recommendations and the government realizes that this recommendation does not fit their ego, does not fit their looting, does not fit their cheating, does not fit the method they want to rule, now they arise against us. But because of education, that is why we are here where we are. But without education, I'm telling you, this government could have ruled with a lot of efficiency.
Yeah. Wow, I can see that we are running out of time. So perhaps as we wrap up our conversation today, what would your parting shot be? Where do we go from here? What do we do as a people? Yeah, and anything that you would like to touch on as we wrap up our conversation.
All right, thank you so much. What I can say is that, like I can say by saying that I've heard Mzee Raila Amolo Odinga calling for a conclave negotiation between government and the youths. I can say that is just rubbish because we have had a lot of conversation and the government knows exactly what Kenyans want and they have decided not to do it. We have had a lot of conversation. Raila Odinga had a handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta. He had a coalition government. Today he is in broad-based. All these are negotiations that he has done that has benefited him and benefited Kenyans. So we are not going to have a negotiation with this government because they know what to do and they have failed to do it. If the government was willing, they could have even started to show the right direction and ensure that they do what Kenyans want. Because we have asked them, can you just be accountable? Can you just tell us how are you spending our money? They have failed to do that. Can you do this? They have failed. Can you drop this shisha thing? They have failed. So what are we going to negotiate with them? So as Kenyans, I think it is high time we just use the constitution to take this government out of power and just have a fresh blood because they have failed us totally. If you see today what is happening, we are having rogue leadership. Like yesterday, I was saddened to somebody sent me a video whereby Kanjos of Nairobi, they were wrapping up, beating up, forcing the traders in the CBD in their old vehicles that were bought in 1970. So you find that that is not the way you are supposed to treat Kenyans. We have a procedural way to ensure that if a Kenyan has broken a certain law, can you follow the correct procedure, treat these men and women in the correct manner? The same county government of Nairobi, there are reports that they have stolen a lot of cash and nobody wraps them up. And yet, a hawker, a trader who is found on the street selling some few mutumbas here and there, they are wrapped up as if they have killed, even if they have killed. We have seen policemen and women who shot people and they were never wrapped up. They were taken to court in an orderly manner. So you find that we just have a rogue leadership. So my parting shot is that Kenya, just let us wake up. Let us ensure we have correct leadership with integrity, leadership that is concerned about humanity, leadership that will rule by the rule of law, that will govern our nation by the rule of law. Yes.
Awesome. All right. I think this is a good place to end our conversation today. Thank you so much for making the time to speak to us on Power Radio. It's always a pleasure getting to listen to you really breaking down this. Some of them might be technical and complex discussions, and I think this is definitely an ongoing discussion. Perhaps when you come back from Kakamega, you will come now in the studio directly so that we can continuously engage and take stock of what shall come out of the ongoing conversation. It would be interesting to see what really does come out of that. So thank you so much, Mr. Pamphil Omondi. Salimia watu wa Kakamega sana, and we'll see you on the next one, hopefully. Yeah. Awesome. Asante sana. That has been our time with Mr. Pamphil Omondi, education activist there, and from his sentiments you can tell that we find ourselves in a very interesting time in this country, and we need to really invite ways in which we can get that conversation running up now. Let me just read a couple of the comments that were coming in during the show. I see AZ Cocktail. He is the president of Embakasi. He's saying niaje an #morning drive. He move inaumiza wa Kenya pekee uko TZ cause huku area yetu pia wasewa area zingine wako area busy ya kahawa, smocha, mahindi choma ni za Warundi wa Nigeria na TZ inakuaje hiyo. He was talking about the move by the Tanzanian government to oust and introduce sanctions on some traders that are foreigners. He's also asking to be played for Naeza Pata Unani Jazz by King Georges. Sijui kama producer wetu ako nayo. Sawa, fantastic. Baba Taifa, tulia tu hapo, tuko na hiyo song, it's coming right up. Then shout out to Fanikiwa. Namuona hapa ansema they are inventing the wheel and shaping it rectangular. It won't work. Okay. Again, I think they were talking about the issue of introducing jabs, introducing sanctions towards the foreigners from the Tanzanian government there. So yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting conversation. I would, if you know anyone who is an economist, who also has intersectional and multidisciplinary knowledge on how interregional politics and trade unions work, it would be interesting to see how that conversation goes. Like, we would love to host them on this show as we contextualize and kind of have a better understanding of what this means, what this move by the Tanzanian government means, not only for Tanzania, not only for the relations between Kenya and Tanzania, but also for the greater region of the East African community. And so, yeah, please DM us if you have anyone, or you are the one that we're looking for. Kindly DM us on our socials, and we will be glad to have you here as we discuss that conversation further on. So let AZ Cocktail song play on, and my time is done here. Thank you so much for everybody who was able to tune in to the show this morning. Again, many thanks to Mr. Pamphil Omondi for always being willing to give us insights about the sector that he is well vested in. We would love to continue hearing and engaging you. It must be the end of the show right now. It might be the end of the show today, but we are still open on our line. We are still open on our social media. Let's keep the conversation going. I will leave you in the very able and safe hands of Caroline Murote. She comes in at 11 a.m. with the Shiva Sessions show. Then later on, our boys are back. Gift of Gab with Elijah Mose alongside DJ CJ Kenya. They come in from 4 p.m. all the way till 6 p.m. So definitely make sure you catch all that jazz as they talk about the things that have been going on in the world of hip hop. Right now, let's go and get on to other things and other conversations. Unani Jazz by King Georges coming right up for ours truly. AZ Cocktail, Baba Taifa, we salute you. It's a goodbye from me, and I will see you next time. Take care. God bless.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
Girl, you don't know so that you make me merry. Are you sweeter than cherry? Alright, girl. King George's now. Now me go so. Unanija. Nimekuwa nikikufuata for long. Unanija. Cause you're the fairest of them all. Unanija. Nikikucheck unani-turn on. Unanija. That's when I sing your kind of song. Unanija. Nimekuwa nikikufuata for long. Unanija. Cause you're the fairest of them all. Unanija. Nikikucheck unani-turn on. Unanija. That's when I sing your kind of song. Ukipita mi huchungulia kwa dirisha. Na wacha kazi yangu juu unanichanganisha. Maboys vichwa zao nazigonganisha. Hata mademu wengine unawababaisha. Usiku kwa mlango wako minabisha. Fungua nimefukuza na madogi harakisha. Na kuinvite kuja tuende picnic kule fisha. Mans Kampala fuo nitakurudisha. Umekubali basi kutani hapo nje ya church baada ya misa. Usijali tutakuwa tumerudi by saa 9. Mabeste skizeni leo nimempata Lisa. Na kweli leo ni leo kabisa. Unanija. Nimekuwa nikikufuata for long. Unanija. Cause you're the fairest of them all. Unanija. Nikikucheck unani-turn on. Unanija. That's when I sing your kind of song. Unanija. Nimekuwa nikikufuata for long. Unanija. Cause you're the fairest of them all. Unanija. Nikikucheck unani-turn on. Unanija. That's when I sing your kind of song. Nikikuona musikia nika nimepigwa shock. Natamani unipe key ni unlock. Your body ni explode like a map. Girl give me the chance we put stock in your shop. Nitakupa mapenzi baby round the clock. Tutaishi kama king na queen then they gonna talk. Kwa mlango yetu kila siku watanok. Cause girl you're so hot. Nipo kuguza mara kwanza uliniambia now I think you're ripe and ready for me girl. Na kutaka seriously kuja ni kuintroduce to my family. Hey Unanija. Nimekuwa nikikufuata for long. Unanija. Cause you're the fairest of them all. Unanija. Nikikucheck unani-turn on. Unanija. That's when I sing your kind of song. Unanija. Nimekuwa nikikufuata for long. Unanija. Cause you're the fairest of them all. Unanija. Nikikucheck unani-turn on. Unanija. That's when I sing your kind of song. Everywhere you go girl you create a buzz. Nifungulie mlango bus ubaki waz. For better or for worse to me you come first. You're in your own class. Ndio maana unanijazz. Johnny kupe loving ya A1 plus. Ukitembea girl you stimulate my nerves. Na enjoy sana kuona hizo curves. You're in your own class. Ndio maana unanijazz. Unanija. Nimekuwa nikikufuata for long. Unanija. Cause you're the fairest of them all. Unanija. Nikikucheck unani-turn on. Unanija. That's when I sing your kind of song. Unanija. Nimekuwa nikikufuata for long. Unanija. Cause you're the fairest of them all. Unanija. Nikikucheck unani-turn on. Unanija. That's when I sing your kind of song. Uchukue mata la fushki hapa kwa jack. Straight upite kaa paka la futa on a get ya black. It's the only flats kuma get liye cock. Sitakuwa home but kids go chini ya doormat. Ingia urelax kuna chai ndani ya flask. Girl feel at home just I'll be there before dusk. You can take a nap I'll come rub down your back. Then we are go do the what? Unanija. Nimekuwa nikikufuata for long. Unanija. Cause you're the fairest of them all. Unanija. Nikikucheck unani-turn on. Unanija. That's when I sing your kind of song. Unanija. Nimekuwa nikikufuata for long. Unanija. Cause you're the fairest of them all. Unanija. Nikikucheck unani-turn on. Unanija. That's when I sing your kind of song. Unanija. Nimekuwa nikikufuata for long. Unanija. Cause you're the fairest of them all. Unanija. Nikikucheck unani-turn on. Unanija. That's when I sing your kind of song. Unanija. Nimekuwa nikikufuata for long. Unanija. Cause you're the fairest of them all. Unanija. Nikikucheck unani-turn on. Unanija. That's when I sing your kind of song.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Power Radio.